Greetings in the name of Yahusha Mashiach, our King, our High Priest, Kohen forever, according to the order of Melchizedek, and our Lua, Yahuwah. All esteem, honor, and glory unto Yahuwah Kodesh name. Hallelujah unto Yahuwah Kodesh name. My name is MELEK Shelemoth. This is MELEK Shelemoth Trading. And I'm going to do a trade recap here I did on simulated trading. Let me just switch over here real quick so I can point that out. This is simulated trading right there. You can see that's the indicator right there. It's on red, trading simulated, right? So this is on Bitcoin, right? So I have it on spot Bitcoin. It's the one that's kind of let's see here. Let me go over here. The price is closest to this one right here, Bitcoin Tether US on Binance, right? So the price action is the same, and it has the same reading as the current price. So this one is 100,142, and over here it's saying, let's see, it's saying 100,160. So it's the closest, right? So let's see. So this was the trade here. Let me just look at the a matter of fact, let me just put this over here for a second. I think the resolution is a little better over here. So from the last session, I had this trade. I think it was the variation of the Black Sun strategy. And let's see here. Where is it? Right. So it was somewhere in here. This was the previous session's Camarilla R1, right? So I was taking some short trades here. And you could look at the previous video and you could see that. But as we went into this new session, which happens at 1900 hours, the new session opens. And now we get some new pivot levels, right? So let me just take off 1 second here. Let me just take off this pivot here and we'll leave on the cams, right? So, and I actually drew some channels as well. So this was a break of an up channel that was happening here. And then we have this down channel created, right? So let's see, I'm gonna just open this up a little bit. Right. So we have a inside value relationship on the Camarillas, right? So that's when the previous Camarilla R3 moves down, right? You can see that this line is coming down. Maybe I should put that in perspective so you can see what's happening here. Right. Right. So that's prior day's Camarilla R3. It's moving down. That's prior Camarilla S3. That's moving up. Right. So it kind of confines the price or kind of it's moving in on price action, right? So it's containing the price or kind of bracketing the price a little bit. So from this wide resistance and support levels, they have gotten tighter, right? So the thesis is with these Camarilla pivots is that when they contract like this, it's easier to either break out of them to the upside or you break out of them to the downside, right? And this signifies this signifies that hold on. This signifies in the last session that we had basically a range price action, right? So if yesterday had a range price action, or the last session was a range, a tight range, right? As you can see here, it's kind of suggesting that in this session, we should break out of that range, right? Or the range could continue. So what this is saying here, the tightness of this range is, let's see, this has moved in a lot, so it's 878, right? 878 points. So let's see here, take this off. So with it contracting that much, it's kind of expected that it's going to break out. Now, it's not probable that it's going to stay within Camarilla S3 and R3, right? So most likely it's going to break out to one side or break out to the other side, right? So there's two theses with this. It's either going to stay in this range and just maneuver back and forth, traverse Camarilla R3 and S3, or it's going to break out, right? So this, with the tightness of and the contraction of this range, it's looking like it's going to break out, right? So we have the down channel, right? So we have the down channel, the highs and lows being created, right? Now at the open, we test Camarilla S1, right? That's the support area, and we get this big buying candle right here. So we get selling, and then the buyers come in, right? Is this the same? No, that's with this candle, right? So we have moderate volume, and we have something like a stop run on this candle right here, right? So let's see, let's open this a little more so we could look at this in detail, right? So we have this heavy selling, right? The volume increasing, well, not volume increasing, I would say we bought, right? We have buying volume here. We didn't get the follow through, got the responsive selling. Buyers held here a little bit, responsive selling again, right? Trying to push it out to the bottom of the range. And then we had buyers immediately respond and come in here. Now, we don't see much volume on the response, but we see price range move and basically engulf and push above this candle right here. Now let me open it a little more. So what we have here are these upper deviations from the ETH session open, right? So it's anchored from the open here, and this is VWAP. The white line is VWAP, right? So as we push up, we push above VWAP, we retest VWAP, heavy volume right here. So we don't get the selling here. We don't get the selling response from these initial sellers right here. We don't get the response really, right? Initially, we don't get the response. We get buyers supporting. Then we get somewhat of a response from the sellers, and buyers take it right back up. So we test the first lower deviation here. Let me use the arrows. We test the first lower deviation, poke below it a little bit, and buyers take it right back up. Now the buyers step in again. Again, there's low volume on this right here, so it's looking like it's stop runs happening, right? So shorts are getting taken out. So all of these guys here who were short, looking for the continuation, they're probably starting to stop out. That's what I think when you get a big range, low volume, right? Because the buying is exiting the market, not entering the market, right? So they're covering. Now we get some retests here, sellers stepping back in. The volume drops on the selling, right? From these volume bars here, the volume is dropping on the selling. And we have wicks at the bottom looking like buyers are taking it up, right? What we have here is another low volume test above +1 VWAP, right? It's a low volume push up and pull back, right? So it's testing to see if there's more sellers, pulls back on low volume. The immediate response is stop run again, right? So shorts are coming out the market here. We have heavy buying volume coming in. Buyers take the opportunity and they step in, right? So this is kind of like the trickery in the market that's going to happen here now, right? So at this point here, I actually went in long, right? My stop was below here, went long, break above VWAP, and just holding, right? So we test the upside, the upside of the, excuse me, we test the upper range of the channel, right? Heavy volume, so it's a heavy volume test. Sellers could take control here, right? So this is like a sell signal. When you see heavy volume, the buyers did not get to push it through this range, right? And we have a big wick to the top side. Buyers don't respond. We have a doji, and initiative or responsive sellers step on the gas and they push it down. Heavy volume. So they took this opportunity here as a retest of this area, the initial selling right here, to push it down again, right? So they came in with force again, right? Heavy volume. So the buyers step in here again, right? Heavy volume as response. They are soaking up the selling because you can see it's not as this range is not as big as this range, far from it. We get buyers again. Sellers are coming in. There's some volume there, but they're not getting to push down. And you see these bottom wicks on this candle, somebody is getting absorbed, and it's these guys who are attempting to push it lower, right? So they're getting absorbed. They can't push further. Buyers start to step in again. Now, this is where you see the buyers are taking control again, right? So they let these guys show their hand. That's what you got, right? Right? They're testing to see what kind of power they got. They absorb that power, pushing up. No response from them again. And they start increasing their buying volume. And they start pushing up, right? Sellers come back up to this range. They try to jump in here again, right? You see their volume increase. We have a medium volume test. This was still, I can say this is some high volume here again, right? So sellers could have taken control here. Buyers stepped up with more volume, had the push up, more volume, and this is a high volume test right now, right? So this is again a signal for sellers. You see, we have this is called let's see, it's a quantum dynamic price pivot. This is a selling pivot right here, or a resistance pivot. We also have a counteracting buying pivot right here, or supporting pivot, right? So with the heavy selling, we don't get the follow through, right? Because they're trying it again. This is the area where they took control and they sold, right? They're trying it again at resistance and they're getting bought up, right? Now, this is a tricky area here. I think I already took profit. Where is my take profit? Yeah, that's so my take profit was around here. It was at Camarilla R3, right? So I'm going to go over to Bookmap now and show you like how that trade played out. So I just wanted to break down on the 5-minute chart what's happening here. We have the breakout of the channel at this level here, right? Big retest. So this trade almost came back and stopped me out, but my stop was somewhere underneath here. So I'll show you that on Bookmap as well. So we're getting low volume here on this push-up. This could be like a double top or start creating some kind of head and shoulders pattern if it fails around here. Buyers have to push this out of this Camarilla R3 level here. All right, so let's go to Bookmap now. Right, so initially I was in a buy trade here at 727, 1927. Took a buy here on the breakout of VWAP, right? I took too much size in that position, trying to just bring back the P&L, right? Because I took some other losses here, right? On some of these shorts and got stopped out, right? So at the open here, took, as I was saying, took the breakout of VWAP, which is right here, right? You can see ETH VWAP to the left is getting highlighted. You can see it in the box right there. So took this breakout, had the pullback, consolidated here above VWAP, right? Holding above VWAP and started to push up, right? So as we pushed up, you see this auction right here. And this is just before the breakdown, right? So let me just show you here. This consolidation and this heavy, this high volume test right here. This is around the same time. So this is 2020, right? So that's 820. So around the same time here, I'm looking at this price action and it has this consolidation right here, right? And this is happening at +1 VWAP right here, right? And Camarilla R1. So I decided to exit right here because I was thinking that it's gonna flush, right? So that's what happened. Exited this position right here. I think it was like 50 Bitcoin or something like that. So I exited there, but it actually brought back my P&L a lot, right? Because this was the break-even point right here. So I exited in profit. So it flushed down. And as it flushed down here, I think I took some buys right here, right? So you can see at the base right here, took some buys, took some more buys right here on the entry, on the break above VWAP, right? So we had a little down channel consolidation right there, came back to -1 VWAP. And you can see that was the break-even point right there. Pushed back above the break-even point. We came up here to my first target, right? So my first target took half off at let's see, Camarilla R2, right? So as we broke above +1 VWAP, you see I'm highlighting it right there. Actually, this is the ETH +2 VWAP, right? Because this is from the RTH open. This is the most recent session. So this is +2 VWAP, break above here, first take profit, right? So took off half the position. We consolidated a little bit and pushed up to Camarilla R3, right? So you can see on the chart there where we had this high volume wick and then it pulled back, right? So now we're consolidating just below Camarilla R3 again, right? You see this little consolidation, this little auction right here. And now we're going to see if we're going to break out or get the reversal, right? So I took some, this is simulated trading, so I was taking some big size and just just testing out certain theories, right? So this is basically a push out of this this inside value relationship here, right? Because we're taking the breakout of VWAP, got the flush down. I exited on this trade right here, bought back right here, right? And took that back up to Camarilla R3. So now we're just going to see if it's going to break out of this level or if we're going to get that traverse between Camarilla S3 and Camarilla R3, right? So that was that trade right there. And I was looking at, I was going to do like a live trade of it, but I was looking at this right here. Right, so I was checking this out here on Prime Fallout, you know what I mean? So I got caught up in that a little bit. So let's see. Let's take a look at some price action right now and let me see what I think. So looking at the order flow here, we have heavy volume going in here, mostly selling. Now, if we have mostly selling right here, right? We don't have much of a follow through. You see how volume drops off? The next volume that comes in here is buying volume, mostly, right? And we have that support right there. And now it's in this consolidation right there. So what we need to see is a breakout of this auction area. So let's open up this auction area a little more. Right, so we have buying volume here. This is creating the support or the base of the auction, this auction right here, right? And let's see, let me see if I can do this. Right. So What we have mostly right now is buying volume. It's low volume, but mostly buyers absorbing right now, right? So they're counteracting. If you look at it, you're seeing selling in there, the purple, right? It's kind of almost evenly distributed, but you're seeing buyers stepping in after this round of selling right here. Mostly selling in this area. Selling, buying came in, coming in, buying coming in, and let's see if they're gonna take control now, right? And you can see it via the volume as well. Buying volume, buying volume, buying volume, and now it's just drying up. So waiting to see who's gonna show their hand right now. We have heavy selling with no follow through. That's the first sign of sellers not being able to take control. Low volume buying. I mean, the volume is increasing here, but it's not like this, right? So let's see who's going to take control now. And at this level here, it's a resistance level, so sellers are supposed to try their hand right here, right? So this is the first sign of them doing it, but they didn't get any follow through. It's looking like buyers are absorbing at these levels. Let me use the arrows. So no follow through. See at the base there, you see mostly blue in these bubbles. Now we're starting to see sellers coming in, selling volume, selling volume. We're breaking out of the range now, the auction. This is where buyers came in again. So right here at this level, right? So you see the buyers stepping in there again, buying volume. Let's see if they're going to support it right there. If they retest this area here and sellers come back in, then sellers are going to take control from here. All right, so it's looking like it's a retest of this auction low, right? This auction here, retest of the low. No buying volume is pushing through to push it through the auction and back up to Camarilla R3 and pushing it out. We're not seeing that. We're seeing that red line right there. That's the best offer, and we're seeing exhaustion because no transactions are happening at the best offer, right? You see it's moving away. This is now the best offer right here, right? Let's see if we get any transactions right there. See the best offer is moving down. Went from here to here. That's the best bid. The last trade is happening in between those. We have somebody hitting the bid, and then now we get somebody pushing up, right? So let's see what's going to happen here. It's looking weak though. And now we have this this liquidity is mostly pressing on the offer, and we don't see much support from the bid, right? So now we get the heavy volume selling, breaking out of even this auction retest right here. So we have this auction, breakdown, auction, breakdown, retest, and let's see if we get more sellers. Right, so we get more sellers down to Camarilla R2. and it's looking like they're establishing control now, right? You see it's mostly selling volume. The bubbles are mostly purple. We have the break of high volume break of this deviation here. Let's see what that is. That's +1 VWAP, right, from the ETH session open. So this is looking like now it's going to be a traverse from Camarilla R3 to Camarilla S3. All right, y'all. So let me go back to watching Fallout. All right, y'all. So it's MELEK Shalomoh. It's MELEK Shalomoh Trading, and y'all trade safe and stay blessed.